Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We are from room 2 and here we would like to explain you about colloid, additive, and addictive. Before we start, let us to introduce ourselves first. My name is Sifa Pringgi Alzazeera from group 1.
My name is Ragil Dwikesuma from group 2.
And my name is Ayu Nursalamah from group 3.
Alright, so let's start. The first matter is colloid. So, what is colloid? Colloid is dispersion system with particles substantially larger than ions or small molecules, but smaller than suspension particles. The particles are too small to be visible to the unaided eye. It is heterogeneous mixture, but the particles do not settle down. A colloid is a step between a solution and a suspension. And next is properties of colloids. So there are several properties of colloids. First is colloid. It is a heterogeneous mixture. And the size of colloidal particles is very small. It is 1 between 1000 nanometers. It shows the Tyndall effect. What is Tyndall effect? So, Tyndall effect is the effect that is scattering of light by colloidal particles. So, what do you mean about it? Okay, when a light beam is directed into solution, the light will be passed on. So, here the picture of it. So this is a solution, this is colloid, and this is suspension. If the light beam is directed into solution, the light will be passed on, and so we can see it. But when the light beam is directed into colloid and suspension, look at here, the light beam will be scattered so that the traces can be seen. For example, like imagine here, why the light cannot pass it on the solution? Because the solution is homogeneous, different with colloid and suspension. Next is absorption. Absorption of particles, ion, and colloidal surface. Let's see here. Okay, so absorption. Absorption is the attachment of charged particles, ion, to the colloidal surface. Absorption occurs because of the ability of colloidal particles to attract or adhere to small particles. The ability to attract is due to the high surface tension of the colloid. For example, here we can see colloid salt iron 3 hydroxide or FeOH3 will be positively charged because here positively charged because it absorbs positive ion. The salt was made by mixing FeCl3 into the water to overheat, resulting in the formation of colloidal salt hydrate from the iron 3 oxide of Fe2O3 times H2O. So it will result FeOH3 with a Fe positive charge. And the next is colloidal particles show Brownian movement. About Brownian movement, we can see here. So Brownian movement is colloidal particles will move randomly with broken path or zigzag in the dispersing medium. You can see here. All right. So, well, this movement caused by a collision between colloidal particle and dispersing medium. This is dispersing medium, and this is colloidal. Okay, so types of colloids. We can see on the table here, dispersion path and dispersion medium, or in bahasa we can say zat terdispersi dan pendispersi. If the dispersion path is solid, that being dispersion medium is solid, the name is solid salt. For example, ruby glass and alloys. If the dispersed phase is solid and the dispersion medium is liquid, name is salt. For example, paint and ink. And dispersed phase solid, but the dispersion medium is gas, it can be aerosol. For example, smoke and haze. For the dispersed phase liquid and the dispersion medium is solid, it will be gel. For example, curd and cheese. If the dispersed phase is liquid and the dispersion medium is also liquid, it will be emulsion. For example, milk and cream. And if the dispersed phase is liquid and the dispersion medium is gas, it will be liquid aerosol. For example, cloud and mist. And if the dispersed phase is gas and the dispersion medium is solid, it can be solid form, and for example is cork or pumice stone. And the last is if the dispersed phase is gas and the dispersion medium is liquid, it will be foam. For example is fourth of air. So as we know, milk, you may imagine that milk is homogeneous solution, but actually it is colloid. So next is application of colloids. It will be cosmetic, penicillin and streptomycin, foods, hemodialysis, and medical. For cosmetic, it will be used in cosmetic industrial. For example, foundation, finishing cream, and deodorant. For penicillin and streptomycin are produced in colloidal from suitable for injection. And for food, as I said before, it consists of milk, salad dressing or sauce, gelatin dessert, fruit jellies, and whipped cream. And for hemodialysis basically it is used to separate colloidal ions through semi-permeable pores through dialysis technique. And for medical, for the example is antibiotics. So that are from group 1. Thank you for your attention, guys. Next will be explained by group 2.
Okay. Okay. Today I would like to explain the additive. So, what is definitions of food additive? Are substances that are intentionally added and mixed at the time of food processing for the purpose of improving appearance food, improve taste, enrich nutritional content, keep food from rot quickly. There is 5 types of food additive. There is color agent, sweetening agent, fragrance agent, flavoring agent, and preservative. First, coloring agent. There is 2. There is natural agent and synthetic agent. Natural agent are these obtained from extract of natural ingredients. For example, pandan leaf produce green, turmeric produce yellow, carrot produce orange, and egg. The synthetic agent are made from chemicals. The advantage of synthetic agent compared to natural agent is the availability of different color choices, more easier to store, and more durable. For example, cormosine for red color, sunset yellow, FCF for yellow color, and indigo carmine for indigotine and egg. Second, there is sweetening agent and fragrance agent. First, there is sweetening agent. What is sweetening agent? Are chemical substance added to food or beverage that serve to give a sweet food. There is 2. There is natural sweetener and synthetic sweetener. Natural sweetener are obtained from plants, for example, glucose in fruits, fructose in honey, sucrose in sugarcane. And the second is synthetic sweetener. Synthetic sweetener are artificial sweetener that cannot produce energy when they enter the human body. Example of artificial sweetener are saccharin, sodium cyclamate, magnesium or calcium cyclamate, aspartame, and glucane. The third, there is fragrance agent. Fragrance agents are substances that can give a distinctive aroma to food or drink. There is two. There is natural fragrance and synthetic fragrance. Natural fragrance, this substance comes from extract of natural ingredients such as essential oil on and vanillin. One part of the plants that can produce essential oils is from flower, for example, clove flowers. And the second is synthetic fragrance. This substance is made to produce a certain aroma, usually a compound ester group such as amicaprode for apple aroma, ethyl butyrates for pineapple aroma, vanillin for vanilla aroma, and methyl athranilate for grape scents. And there is flavoring agent and preservative. For the flavoring agent, there is two. There is natural and synthetic. For example, of the natural is spice, is garlic, onion, pepper, coriander, lemongrass, bay leaf, and pandan leaf. And for the flavoring agents of synthetic, there is Ajinomoto, Miwon, Sasa, Roiko, Maggi, and egg. And the preservative, there is two, natural and synthetic. For the natural is example, salt and sugar or sucrose. And the second is synthetic. Example, vinegar, sodium and calcium propionate. And the side effect, in fact, the US Food and Drug Administrations or FDA has approved thousands of food additives. Consuming small amount of additive may be safe, but the health risks end up if you really heavily on processed food. That is three. First, some people are sensitive to particular food additive and may have reacts with hives or diarrhea. And second, the excessive use of MSG, lead to Chinese restaurant syndrome, is a healthy disorder in which the head feels dizzy and dropping. And third, many people view foods additive as a major food threats or the majority of preservative used today are artificial rather than natural. Several of them are toxic and several others have potential life-threatening side effects. So it is best to know what kind of additive is entering to your body. That's all from group 2. Thank you.
Okay, so now I will be explaining about addictive. Okay, so what are addictive? Addictive substances are substances that can cause dependence or addiction. People who are addicted want to use the substance continuously. Addiction is the feeling when you have used or consume something continuously and it's difficult to stop it. Okay, addictive substances divided into three groups. First is narcotics, the second is psychotropics, and the third is other psychoactive. Okay, first is narcotic substances. Narcotics are substances or drugs derived from plant, not plain, either synthetic or semi-synthetic, which can cause a reduction or alteration of consciousness, reduced to eliminate pain, and can lead dependence. Narcotics is addictive substances that are very harmful, and also consuming and also trafficking it is banned from the country all over the world, including in Indonesia. Why is narcotic is banned? Because with consuming it doesn't give the consumer any positive effect. It only gives the negative impact. So the impact of narcotics is divided into two. There are long-term and also short-term. There are loss of appetite, insomnia, increased heart rate, and also permanent damage to the blood vessels in the heart and brain, high blood pressure resulting in heart attack, stroke, and also death. Narcotics also divided into three groups. First group, narcotics. Narcotics of group 1 is only be used for the purpose of development of science and not used in therapy, as well as having a very high addictive potential. And the example is marijuana, cocaine, and also opium. And the second group is narcotics that are efficacious in treatment, used as a last option, and also can be used in treatment and the purpose of development of science as well, having a high potential lead to dependence. And the example is morphine. And the third is the narcotics that are commonly used in treatment and medicine because it having a low potential to lead dependence, such as ethylmorphine. The second is psychotropic substance. What are psychotropic? Psychotropic are substances or drugs, both natural and synthetic, non-narcotic, efficacious, psychoactive, through selective effect on the central nervous system that can cause difficult changes in mental activity and behavior. And also there are impact from consuming the psychotropic. There are long-term and also short-term. The impact first is hyperactivity, delusion of power, irritability, confusion, hallucination, paranoia, and more aggressive. And the long term is malnutrition, heart disease, psychotic disorders, blood vessels in the brain can rupture, resulting in a stroke, and also heart failures result in a death. Okay, so the first is group 1. This is that can only use for scientific purpose and cannot use in therapy, such as ecstasy and also shabu. The second is psychotropic efficacious treatment and can be used in role therapy, such as amphetamine. And the third is the psychotropic that are potentially medium cause dependence and is widely used as medicine, such as pentobarbital. And the last is the psychotropic that is potentially mild in causing dependence and also very broad use as medicine, such as phenobarbital. And the third is other psychoactive substance. What are the psychoactive substance? This is the psychoactive substance, which is include other addictive substances, are materials or substances psychoactive effect beyond the narcotic drugs, and also psychotropic substances. There are the impact from consuming this type of substances. The first is talking lips, drunk, dizzy, not able to coordinate the movement of hallucination, and also delusion. And also high blood pressure, stroke, disease related to the heart disease, nerve damage, sexual problems, and also permanent brain damage. This kind of addictive is commonly used in daily life, like in food or drink. Like we can see here is like alcohol. The type of alcohol that is widely used in ethanol is blood alcohol, which will high, causing motion sickness and also decrease awareness. The second is caffeine. Caffeine is a substance that are naturally found in coffee and tea and also can improve the work brain. Like when we are feel sleepy, we drink a coffee to hold back our drowsiness. Why it is like that? It's because in coffee contain the caffeine that can improve our brain performance. And the last is nicotine. Nicotine is found in tobacco leaves, which are usually used as material for making cigarettes. Okay, and the last is the effect based on its effect on the body. Okay, first is hallucinogens. Hallucinogens are drugs that can cause hallucination. The consumer will see or hear something unreal, like they are will imagining something. The example is LSA and LSD. And the second is sedative hypnotic depressants. Depressants will inhibit the activity of the central nervous system or other body function. And the example is escitalopram, fluoxetine, fluvoxamine, and also sertraline. And the last is stimulant. The stimulant can increase central nervous system activity or other body function, such as increasing heart rate, breathing rate, and also blood pressure. The example is caffeine, nicotine, and coke. Okay, maybe that's the explanation from group 3, and also the closing from us from room 2. Thank you for your nice attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.